Ready.
So ready.
Let's do it.
Ready, Freddy.
Let's do
You
it.
need whatever song's in your head, though.
I know, seriously.
I never
you,
have a song.
You just have so much energy.
Yeah.
This is how I have to like
Pump yourself
pump
up.
myself up to talk for 2 hours.
That's good.
Also, dancing is like my favorite thing to do. I'm not good at it.
Ever?
I like it.
Yeah.
Eating's better. Food is better. Dancing next.
All right.
I like it.
I can get down with that.
On the Sarah scale.
But I do a thing where when I'm excited about food, I dance. And you know what? People actually get irritated by that.
Really?
Yes.
Jenna does that well.
When you dance because you're excited about
She'll just be
food?
like,
Yeah, like
Show me those people.
while I'm eating, I'll be like, oh, I love this so much. And somebody's like, please don't tell me you're a dance eater. And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. But I am. Okay.
Everybody should
And
be
I'm
a
proud.
dance eater.
It's definitely
There's kids in our family that do that.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
It means you're happy.
I like it.
I just really love things.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Alright, 7:15.
7:15.
Let's do it.
Welcome, everybody. Hello. We are painting this wonderful giraffe tonight. I know it looks scary. I know it looks hard. You're going to be great. Because one, we have an outline, so that's so easy too. And then I'm breaking it down into steps, which will be easy for you guys to kind of follow along, hopefully. So let's introduce everybody. Are we looking here at the main one? I didn't ask.
No, this one right here.
Oh, we're here. Okay. So,
Want me to come in?
yeah,
Alright.
you're in this room, right? Yeah. Okay.
Don't, you can embrace me. It's good.
We have Missy. She's painting with us today. Natalie's painting with us again today. Jake's doing our camera work. He's solo today, so he's
So,
Solo.
blame it all on me.
if there's any problems, we know why. And Chad's back. We haven't seen Chad in a bit, so I'm excited to have him back. Welcome. And I'm Sarah Cray.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
I feel like
Okay.
we all need to make a sound.
We did. That was good. I appreciate it. Okay, so the supplies that we're using tonight, we just have 3 colors. We are using black and golden brown and antelope brown. So antelope brown is actually really similar to golden brown. It still is a nice warm brown, but it's just a little bit darker. If you don't have antelope brown, you can use any brown, really. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great. Okay. And we're using a round 6 and a round 2 as our brushes. If you don't have a round 6, a round 4 will be just fine. Some of us are using round 4, some of us are using round 6s, and Natalie has a 10 here just in case. And that's it. Let's get let's do our oath before we trace.
Yes.
So everybody raise your right hand and repeat after me. I promise to be kind to myself.
I promise to be kind to myself.
I promise not to compare myself.
I promise not to compare myself.
And I promise to allow myself to have fun.
And I promise to allow myself to have fun.
Yay! Yay for painting. Okay. Let's go.
Judy checked in.
Yay for
Yes.
We got
painting.
Lisa here. She said you got her June box.
Lisa, I'm so glad you got your June box. How did it go? Did everything arrive safely?
And Julie says hi.
Hi, Julie. Welcome. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's get you guys drawing and then I can go over some things. Okay, so to draw, you have your outline. If you order your kits, it should be in your kits, or you can just download it online. And you want to put your outline on your paper and tape it down, and that way it doesn't move. And then you're going to take your graphite paper. So there's 2 sides to a graphite paper. There's a darker side and a lighter side. You want to put the dark side down because this is the side that has the stuff that's going to come off. And you're going to set it right underneath, and then you're going to start drawing. And you're going to just follow this outline that I have here for you. So you can go do that now. No, I won't yell at you if you start drawing again.
You promise? Really? Can I really do it this time?
So I have my outline done already. Don't worry, take your time. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about stuff, and that way I can focus on my words instead of trying to draw and talk. So we have mailed out the June subscriptions. You guys should be getting them. I know people are starting to get them. If you got them, you want to open them up, please please share. You can put it out on Instagram. I think we're going to do a hashtag, like hashtag opening day or something. I don't know. We'll dial that in. We'll let you know. And that was really fun. It took us so long because I think we like doubled our subscriptions, which is so great. We got so many this month. And yeah, it was really exciting. It seriously was like 4 solid days of 4 people just like assembling and packaging. And so hopefully everything is safe and sound. If you have any problems, you're welcome to let us know, and we'll, of course, sort that all out. And I'm trying to think any other announcements. Shops are going good. They're working on it right now. It actually doesn't have a front. They took it all down. So if you're in Hamilton and you drive by it, it's just like 2 big pillars and nothing.
Plywood in a dumpster.
And plywood. There's some plywood there.
There is.
But that's going to get going soon. So I'm really excited to see that all put together. And then just a little heads up. Next week is actually a 5th week in the month. And so what we're going to do for that is we're going to do our postcard to Addison that's going to go out. And so the project we're going to paint on it is just another giraffe, just smaller. So we're going to do that next week. So if you're using your kits or your like the paints we sent you, don't clean your palette tonight if you pour all of your paint out. Does that make sense? Because I would hate it if you poured all your paint out, you painted the giraffe, you rinsed it, and then going next week you don't have any paint. So save your palettes. Even if it dries, you can bring that paint right back up just with water. So make sure to keep your palettes during the week.
Bada boom, bada bang.
Bada boom.
It's a little darker than I had planned.
That's okay. This
Look,
one,
you
it's
just
okay
cruised right through that.
if it's a little dark,
Kind of aggressive.
because we don't do a ton of light. It's a darker painting, so the lines aren't going to show as much. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Here.
I'm almost done.
Oh,
over
I put
here.
my purse in the trash
That's okay.
can. There we go. No, you're fine, Missy. Take your time. My outline is a little bit light, but that's fine. Oh, what happened to my neck here? Doesn't that look weird? Nope, that's just how I drew it.
That's how it is.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Okay.
I think it just is like this part right there that kind of sticks out a little bit.
It is, yeah.
It's okay.
Here, I'm going to put this up front so you guys can see what we're painting here. It's this beautiful thing.
Is it a girl giraffe or a boy giraffe?
What do you think? I say boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know that actually, because
Well,
people,
it's
Bow
super
tie
light,
in.
but hopefully it's okay.
Super light. It's good.
mine's super light too.
You
Okay.
did good.
You should be
Missy.
fine. So I read this thing
No,
about
I feel like
giraffes.
It might be dark.
No,
Definitely.
it's going to be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be fine.
Gotcha.
No criticizing, no comparing,
Right.
No
right.
comparing.
having fun.
We're
being
having
kind.
fun.
Having
We're
so much
having.
fun.
You're promising to
So
have
much
fun,
fun.
but
Does it matter if I can't see some of the spots on the neck? Should I worry about that?
no, because you can eyeball it.
Okay.
Because it's just paint.
All right. Cool.
It will make your giraffe
It's
unique.
just paint.
It's just paint. Okay, let's do our warm-ups. So, for our warm-ups, we're going to start with washes. Now, washes is just when you're like putting paint and water down at the same time evenly. And you can do like light washes and dark washes, all that stuff. So I want us to do a dark wash, a medium wash, and a light wash.
Scoot a little closer to it.
And to do a dark wash, you're going to want to have more paint than water.
Does that work better for you?
It doesn't matter.
So I'm just going to do like a square. You can do any shape. But this is going to be my dark wash. And then to make it lighter, you just add water. So this is going to be my medium. And if you want it to be even, to where there's not like a darker and a lighter side, you just go back and forth over that square, over and over. Because then that's just going to, the color is just going to evenly spread across that water that you put down. Just like that. And then I'm going to make my lightest wash. So I haven't added any paint to my brush. I started with my dark wash and laid that down. Then I rinsed my brush once and I did medium. And then I totally rinsed my brush now to where there's like barely any color. And here's my light wash. And let's see if I can go even lighter, which I think I can. So the reason why it's getting lighter is because with watercolor we usually don't use a ton of white paint to lighten. We just use more water to make the paint more transparent, so then the white of the paper is showing through, and that is what acts as our white. So if you want to make a color lighter in watercolor, you just add more water, and then that way that more of that paper is going to show through. And then, yep, very good. You could probably even go one lighter. I want you to see like how light you can possibly go. Because especially when we're doing like animals or portraits, or if you're doing this at home and you want to do your own kind of thing, you don't realize how like even the softest wash makes a difference. Usually when I'm doing like pet portraits or things like that and I'm doing shadows on fur, I do a wash that's like this light. So it doesn't always have to be dark. Okay, so then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna practice our dark to light. We do this warm up every time. Actually, it was kind of funny. Oh, let me explain how to do it before I go into a story. So you're going to get a lot of paint on your brush and you're gonna go up and down those first few strokes, kind of like a thin rectangle, and then you're gonna rinse your brush. And right where you left off on that rectangle, you're going to touch that and smear it across. And if you need to rinse your brush one more time, because the goal here is we're going to want to go have a dark, a medium, and a light. That is our goal. And that is called a value change. Value is just dark to lightness. It has nothing to do with color. So here I have a dark, I have a medium, and a light. So if you're doing this and you don't feel like you got it light enough, you can go back and rinse your brush one more time and spread that out further. If you don't feel like your dark is dark enough, you can always go back and add a little bit more on that and spread it out. You do not want to go back and forth on this, because if you go back and forth like I'm doing here, then it becomes an even value and you lose your value change. So you're just going to want to do, leave it alone once you play with it. Yeah, anyways, after one of the classes, Al and Casey came to me, who was our intern, and he was just like, maybe we should switch the warm-ups up because we do this warm-up every single time. And I think people are getting bored. And they're like, you should do warm-ups that are like important to the painting. I'm like, that's what I do. Yeah. I'm like, we just happen to use that technique every single paint. And it was funny because Al right away was like, oh, you're right. And because I got like defensive for a second, I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing. It was so funny. He's like, sorry, you're right. Okay, that's it for our warm-ups. We're just going to use those two techniques today. So pretty simple. And we're going to start off with on our giraffe, and if you have your reference photo handy, have that out so you can look at it. The first thing that we're going to do, step one, is we're going to do an even light wash across our giraffe. So across the whole giraffe, we're going to do a light, even wash, but don't do a wash over the eyes because they're black, and the like nostril holes because those are black. Mm-hmm. But everything else, you're just going to do a nice light wash. So I'm going to mix a little bit of my antelope with black to get almost like, and a little golden, to get like a brown, but a soft brown. Because if you're just going to use the golden and you lighten it up, it actually turns to like a bright yellow. And we don't want a bright yellow first. We want like more of a neutral color. So.
Whoops. Sorry,
It's all
Jen.
good. No, it's all good.
I made it really dark.
Just add
That's
some more
okay.
of that brown in
So
there.
what you can do too is you can just pull from this and move it over here. and then you like make a new paint pile, and that way you don't have to try and like work up this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Show.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start and just seriously across all the paintings. You want to make sure it's really light though, because we still want to be able to see the lines underneath.
Color?
It is going to have almost a green tinge to it, just because that's how these paints, these specific colors, they tend to lean more towards the yellow-green side, these browns. But like if you have a coffee brown, that actually has more of a reddish hint to it. And the mahogany actually has more of a purplish hint to it. So it just depends on the kind of brown you're using, but this one leans towards like a green or a yellow.
I turned my water pink.
I do that all the time, actually. She had some leftover color on her brush.
Yep.
So it doesn't have to be totally perfect. This is just our base layer. Essentially what we're wanting to do is we're just trying to get rid of like all the white on the paper. And with animals and when you're doing portraits, it's really good to do lots of layers, because I think that's how you create kind of more depth. So a lot of it is just doing light wash after light wash after light wash. And this is also a good exercise, because I know that sometimes when we're not used to painting, we're kind of timid when we first start. It's kind of scary putting paint down. So this is just a good way to get you used to putting color down, and also it kind of challenges you to work a little bit faster than you might work, because this layer isn't like, you don't really have to pay attention. You know what I mean? It's just like an even wash all the way across, really light. It kind of gets you used to it, gets you kind of warmed up with the paints. Yep. So, like I said, when you're doing portraits or anything, animals specifically, layering is always a great idea. And so our first step that we're going to do here is just putting down our initial color, and then we build up from that. And so our next step that we're going to do is we're going to start putting in like shadows and depth, which is essentially like another wash on top of what we just put on. So what we're going to do, because you guys are ready, is I'm going to start by putting in the color on our horns. So if you look at our reference photo here, you can see that there's stronger color. It's kind of darker on the inside of the horns, and then it goes lighter as it goes out. So that's the next thing we're going to do. So we're going to take, I'm going to mix some antelope with some golden, and maybe a tiny bit of black. We don't want it too dark. And then I'm just going to start putting in the color. And I'm going to do the same thing that we did in our warm-up, where I'm laying down my dark color first. And then I'm rinsing my brush. I'm just kind of smearing this out. So you can kind of see, I kind of drew out how far the shading is going to go. You don't have to follow that exactly. That's more just a guideline or a reference. And then I went back in, because my color was just a little too, I mean, I like bright, bold colors. So I went back in and I just dropped in some golden brown. right in there, and I'm going to blend that out because then that way I get this nice bright color on my giraffe. And that's just all personal preference. Some people actually really like the muted tones. I do too. Just when I paint, I've noticed that I get way more excited when I have these bold colors than when they're kind of all like a grayish. But there's nothing wrong with either of them, so just do whatever you would like. If you want it more gray, then you just add a little bit more black. If you want it nice and bold, then you drop in that golden brown. Yep. And yeah, and I would blend that out a little bit farther so it like, I'm gonna move yours over here. So we have Natalie, she's following this outline pretty nicely, but almost a little too nicely. We want it to blend out a little bit better. So I'm gonna blend. So even if it goes past that line, it's not a big deal. We just want that value change from dark to light to like make sense. We don't want a strong line all of a sudden.
And then will you tell me which one of these is golden and which one's antelope?
Sure. That one's golden. That one's antelope.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
A little confused for
They're
a second.
actually really, antelope and golden are really similar colors. I just feel like antelope is darker and has more of a depth to it than golden. And golden has like a stronger orange pop to it. And that's why I'm using those together. Okay, so then we're gonna just make our way down on the giraffe and we're gonna go around, see how they have like this like, I don't know, like a forehead hump right here? You know, it's like this big. So we're gonna do the shadowing along the side of it right here. So I'm just gonna use that same color that I was using. I'm just gonna go along the edge here. And then blend that out. Yep. And I'm going to do that just a couple of times till I have this like, it's nice and dark near the middle here. Because you know how giraffes, they have like this strong, you know that bone? Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at in profile, they have like a really strong nose. That's essentially what we're painting, but because it's, we're facing them, there's foreshortening, so we got to make sure that we can tell that there's still that bone there. Yep.
Do I need to go darker or is that okay?
I think that maybe go a little bit darker.
Inside it?
Yeah, like right here, go, I'll darken mine a little bit there too. But as you see, if you can see my palette here, I don't have a strong rhyme or reason to these color mixings. Most of the time I just mix all of the colors together and just kind of play with it from there. I will try to be more specific as I go. But that one I had a little bit more black in to have it so it's nice and dark. And then as I'm blending out, I'm going to blend out to where the corner of the eye meets. So you see this corner right here? I'm kind of blend out to there. Now I'm not going on top of the eyeball because actually giraffes have this really strong kind of bone structure above their eyes. And we want to make it clear that those are hard, those are rigid, and those are poking out. So we want to make sure that we keep this soft wash that's on both of these sides here and here. We're going to want to keep the center of that. So we're not going to like, we're going to let that color stay. Does that make sense? And that will be our highlight on that bone. So just kind of go out to the corner of this eye here and try not to go over on top of the eye. Just like that. And just so you know, animals look super weird while you're painting them until the very end. So don't stress out if while you're painting this, you're like, this looks funky. It's okay, it's supposed to. A lot of it is because I wait till the very end to add the eyeballs, and so it kind of just looks creepy the whole time, but it's fine. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is right here, kind of on the edge of the horn, we have the, see how this, let me put this here, this kind of bone goes up in here, and then the horn comes around, so we have like a shaded area right here on both sides. Do you see that, how it's darker? We're gonna put that in right here. So I kind of put it out on your outlines, that little like circle on the edge. I'm gonna put in my dark color and then just blend that out. And that's just to show that that part of the face is going behind the eye bones that are kind of coming out at you. Yep. That looks good. I'm going to do one more little layer because blending it out, I lost my dark center right at the corner.
Jody says, my bunny never got past creepy.
Mine either.
That's awesome.
That's funny. Those bunnies, it's so funny when you do like faces because the slightest brush stroke creates like a totally different expression on, like same thing for people and animals. It's like the shape of an eye is going to give you a whole different expression. It's pretty funny. Okay, I'm trying to add, as you can see, I'm trying to add some dark over here, but it's just too wet that it's not really doing it. So I'm just gonna let that dry. If you're playing with an area too much and it's just not getting dark how you want it because it's so wet, the best thing to do is to let it dry and then go back to it. Because sometimes an area is so wet that when you put the color down, it just automatically spreads. It doesn't stay in the one area you want it to. So if that's happening to you, just wait for it to dry and go back to it. Okay. So then the next shadows we're going to put in is around the nose. So I have like a U here. Does this make, so like this area is what we're shadowing right here. So this. Here and then on the other side. Yeah. So around the nose and then a little around the mouth here. We're kind of defining our nose and our mouth shape. And then after you put that dark color in, you blend it out. And you might ask, like, how far up do I move this wash as I blend it up? Just however far up you need until it kind of like softens and almost disappears. Here I wouldn't leave this, right? Because this is such a strong line that it would be distracting. People would be like, okay, why is that line there? So I'm just going to rinse my brush again and keep blending this up until that line pretty much disappears. I'm going to go around the mouth here a little bit. And around the nose, you might want to do that a couple of times if it's dry enough to allow you to do that. You guys are very quiet tonight. You guys doing okay? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Cannot tell.
Good so far.
Good so far?
I think I need to bring it farther down around here. So.
Yeah, yep.
I won't panic till you say I'm done. And then I'll be like, wait, no, really?
I would do another layer right there on yours.
Okay.
And the reason why we have all of these different, like some of it is light and some of it is dark, is because even within a face, there's form. Does that make sense? So like the tip of my nose is on a plane here, and then like my lips are on a different plane, and then my cheeks are on it. Does that make sense? So like the farther something out is towards you, towards the light surface, the lighter it's going to be, which is why we're leaving a highlight on this nose bone here because it's poking out, why we're leaving a highlight on the eyeball bone because that's poking out, and the mouth itself is a little bit lighter because that is closer to us. And then when something goes in, and you can even touch it, like honestly, we did this in our art class just so you guys can really understand. Like if you touch your own face, like underneath your eyelid, underneath your eyes, there's sockets, so it kind of goes in a little bit. That's why it's darker underneath there, because it's going in and it's farther away from the light. And so it's just like that across your whole face. So that's why we're doing all this, because there's many planes on this face. Okay. Yeah, wait for that to dry and then do another one. And yours too, wait for that to dry and just do another one, because you have a nice, so she has a nice shadow right here in between her nose, and we want that nice shadow also on the sides here. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because that's a nice dark, we want that also over there, but it might be too wet to do that. Okay, and then the next shadow we're going to do is right underneath the mouth, so like the chin area. So I'm just getting, I'm kind of mixing my antelope and my black a little bit and a little golden. And I'm just going to put my dark color in right underneath, and then I blend it out. Now when you blend it out, you don't want to blend straight down like this. You're going to want to go back and forth with your paintbrush like a curved line.
I can't tell where it's supposed to go. Can't see my lines good enough. Is that it right there?
Yep.
Okay.
If your outline turned out, me and Missy just used a different kind of graphite paper that's really light. You can just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? It's just paint. It's fine. Okay. And the reason why we're doing these swooped lines is because we want to show that the neck itself has a form. So if we did it up and down, it's going to flatten our neck. So anytime you're doing shading across a three-dimensional form, an arm or an eye or a neck or whatever, you're going to want to follow that shape as if you were painting directly onto it. Does that make sense? So I know that the neck is round, so it's going to have this kind of like curviness to it. Because even your brush strokes kind of matter in terms of shading. It's going to help inform our viewers the shape of what we're painting.
Got way too wet, I think.
If yours got too wet, you can wait for it to dry and just go back to it. It's not a problem. Okay. And then I'm going to take my golden and a little bit of antelope. So it's like this nice bright color. And just on the edges over here, I'm going to do just on the sides. I put my dark colors down, and then I'm just going to blend that out. How's everyone doing out there?
So quiet.
No, I just think people are really excited about this one, and they're very serious about painting it. Yep.
BJ's on and he's got a joke for you.
Who's it?
BJ, Misty's
My
dad.
dad.
Okay,
Of course he
I'm
has a
ready for
joke.
it.
Says Giraffe walks into a bar. Bartender asks, "Hey, why the long face?"
Thanks, Dad.
That was a good one. Should I repeat it? Do you think everybody heard it?
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes are the best.
He has them all. All the dad
Everybody's
jokes.
commenting in here like, "Don't repeat it. We got it."
You got Don't repeat it. We understand. Dad joke?
That was
Don't
enough.
want to hear it.
That was enough.
Okay. And then we're going to do a couple more shaded areas here. So I'm going to go to my ear. So the edge of my ear has like a dark edge here. And it's that same thing. We're going to put in our dark edge. I'm not going to go all the way around. It's more just like the tip, just like that. So just the top part. And then I'm just going to blend that out.
I did the other ear.
That's okay. We're going to do both ears.
Perfect.
So you can do whichever ear you want
So
first.
We'll be focusing on one ear this evening.
No, Misty,
Maybe it's
mess
like,
it up.
Maybe it's like turned a little, and one's not supposed to have a shadow. I don't know.
Nah, they're just ears. And blend that baby out. And do the other ear too.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I feel like when I blend, I just like completely lose that line. Am I just using too much water?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you're blending out and it's just smearing across so much that you lost the initial darkness totally, then you're just using too much water. So when you go to blend out, I rinse my brush and it's dripping right now. I pat it on my paper towel and that paper towel soaks up some of that water and then it blends out a little bit better. And then I want to blend that more. I rinse my brush, I pat it on my paper towel, and I blend that out. And even while it's still wet like this, because it's damp, it's not like super wet that it's going to go everywhere, I can do another little edge here. Just like that. Yeah, I would point out.
Good.
I would maybe make this ear a little bit pointy if you can. Pointier. I know you were following my outline, but I feel like it should be pointier.
Okay.
See how that one's pointier?
Right.
Make that one pointier. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is it pointy enough now?
I would go even more.
You show that on the main camera.
Yeah. Sorry. So I just, her ear rounded off right here. And I'm like, make that pointier. So you just kind of add a little thicker edge here and then a sharper top. Now some of you have to make your ears a little bit bigger because you went outside the line. That's cool too. If that happens, just make it bigger. It's not a big deal. Okay. Then we're going to go kind of at like the cheeks here. I'm going to put a shadow in at the bottom on both sides and blend that out. Blend it out and up. Now in this scenario here, this is too much of a strong line for me just to leave that. I would want to blend that out. Another way that you can blend something out is you almost are lifting up the paint as you're doing it. So I got a wet brush and I'm kind of going back this way and I'm lifting the color up. And then that got rid of that strong line and it blended out better. So if you feel like you're trying to blend out and it's just going too far, then you can lift up some of that paint. You guys, our giraffe is starting to take form. Do you see it? It's starting to emerge. This is the exciting part.
I felt it.
It's kind of like
Jake
that,
felt it.
like that giraffe.
Have you seen
hammer.
that?
No.
You haven't seen that like it was from like the early 2000s where they were like, it's like the date and the guy like gets in it's like a blind date and the girl gets in the car and like the guy's like walking her, like opens the door for her, shuts the door and she like rips one and then he like gets in the side and he's like, I think we got chemistry here and like And then there's actually people in the back seat that she didn't know.
No.
About. They're like, I felt it.
I have
It's a
never
great
seen
skit.
that.
Yeah, it's funny. It is funny.
That is so funny.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, I love it. It's great. Okay. And then we're going to do, we're going to work on our eye bone a little bit more here. So we're going to do a little bit right on the top of that eyelash as it goes out. We're going to do a little there, and you're going to blend it out. But remember to try and keep as much as this center as light as possible. Does that make sense? So when you blend out, you're just going to like barely blend that out, because we still want to keep this light wash that we initially put down. And I'm actually lifting up some of my color and blending out this way to kind of keep that a little bit more. So I'm going to blend that out.
Mine got a little dark in the whole process. I don't have any light spots there.
That's okay. If you want, you can try and lift it out with water.
I did, but it's not really going anywhere.
You can also, sometimes just picking it up with a paper towel helps too.
Thank you.
Okay, so now is kind of where we take a look at our giraffe. We kind of see, now that we've added some shadows and we have some highlights and some lowlights, we should be able to kind of see shapes within our form starting to emerge within our giraffe. And you kind of just want to take this time to look at it and see where you might need some extra help, or if there's an area that's not really making sense, that kind of thing. So I'm looking here on my ears, or horns, sorry, they have horns. And I feel like I lost the shape of this like curve, because what's supposed to be happening here is this should be the top of the head coming up and around, and then this is the horn kind of coming back, and this kind of got too even washed across that I lost that. So I'm going to go back in right now and just define that space a little bit better, like that, and a little bit on the same side here too. Now you might not have this problem. You could have great shading going on. If you do, then you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. And then just so my horns feel like, because we did these in 2 separate steps, right? We did our first, the center of our horns, and then we did these on a separate area. I'm gonna kind of blend these 2 areas together so they feel more of the same piece. So I'm just gonna go back and forth. And remember, try not to blend up and down. This is a horn, it's a rounded thing, so I'm going to kind of swoop back and forth between them. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. So the nice thing about these watercolors is they're still pretty workable even after you put it down. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm kind of just smearing these 2 areas together, and now they kind of look a little bit more of the same thing instead of 2 different parts before. And then looking at my nose bone here, I feel like I still need to add a little bit more on the edge on mine. So I'm going to do another layer here. And then I'm almost going out to the corner of my eye again with that shadow, and then I'm just blending that out. And you don't want to blend it too far down. So as I'm blending down, I'm lifting up the paint as I go down. I'm just going to blend that out to the edge, and remember to do your blending in that curved line. It's like a swoosh. We should probably check in with people.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That might be good.
Okay.
Sounds like a great plan.
I don't know. Yeah.
And I need help.
You guys are being so hard on yourselves. They're looking great.
I think I might be painting a cow.
I mean, we still have...
Just blow them off each side.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
take
yeah.
each one and put
Okay.
it in the middle.
So I'll start with Natalie's here. What? What?
Nothing.
Okay. I think this is looking really good here. She has some good depth over here, some good color this way. If anything, I would say try and blend, because you still have this really strong dark line. You know, that line is really strong here. Try and blend it out so it's not as strong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to move that. And this is just like a slightly damp brush that I'm doing this with. There's no color on it and there's not a lot of water on it. I'm just going to move that color out a little bit more. And then that way we won't have such a strong outline along the edge here. I think so far your nose is looking good. Yeah, ears, horns, and your neck looks great. Yeah, that looks great. You're being really hard on yourself because it's looking good.
Ashley just turned Tim good and she said she was thinking it was, she didn't realize that it was, she was in a different time zone. She said you missed the whole thing.
No!
Wondering how long it will be till she can watch the whole thing.
On YouTube, you should be able to rewind it.
If you, is that,
Rewind it right now?
On YouTube? While it's live?
I thought so.
if anybody's on YouTube, can you tell us if you can
She's
just,
on YouTube, yeah.
I think
She can?
they're telling me that you can just go rewind it right away on YouTube. I don't know. I've never watched this on YouTube while I'm live.
Watch, 'cause
If not, it should be
If
there
not,
right
right when we're done, it's going to
Yes.
be up. So we have less than an hour on this left, I would say, and it will be up right when we're done. So I'm really sorry. I know, darn time zones. They get in the way. Okay,
I have to Google them every time somebody
I
out of
know.
me
state
too.
plans a meeting with me. I'm like, is that my time or your time?
Well, when I first moved here, I was doing some conference calls, and they're like, this time CST. I'm like, no, Central Standard Time. They're like, that's what CST. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm really smart. I'm really smart.
She said that you can. Everybody said, yeah, you definitely
Oh,
can.
good.
That's
That's
awesome.
what I
Okay, yeah, if you're on YouTube, then you should just be able to rewind it right now and start from the beginning. So yay. Okay. Missy's here. This is looking good. Your horns are looking good. I think we lost this shape a little bit.
I was real confused over there, so that
Okay.
doesn't surprise me.
That's okay. I'm just going to define it a little bit more here for you so it kind of like comes up and out. If you lose this though, this isn't like a huge part of the giraffe. It's not even going to really matter. So don't stress about that. I'm just going to darken that corner really quick. And then I'm just going to do another layer here because you're blending really good. I'm just going to smooth it up on this side.
Okay.
So this, I just had a little paint on my brush. I'm just going to kind of blend this out. Is it okay that I paint on yours
Yep,
thing?
absolutely.
Okay. I always forget to ask. It's so rude. And then I'm just going to blend that out here. And I would probably blend this up a little bit more here.
Okay.
And then do like kind of sharpen up this area of the nose a little bit more if you can. Like that. And then slightly blend it out, but don't blend it out so much that we lose that dark.
Okay.
Your neck looks good. I would do maybe another layer of
I
dark.
was thinking that under the
Yeah, because we want it to go from dark to light right underneath the chin, and right now it's looking pretty even.
Okay.
So I would do another swoop down there.
Awesome.
Chad, you ready, brother?
Yeah. Take her away.
All right.
I'm seeing a monkey in that face.
No, this looks great.
right here.
Yeah.
The eyes and the cheeky little mouth.
Thank you.
No, I see it too.
Natalie's like, oh yeah, I see that.
I just
I
didn't
see
want
that.
to say it 'cause I've been looking at it.
Okay, I love the
Thanks,
color
Chad.
you're getting on this. It looks like you're using a lot of the golden brown, which is why you're getting some really warm hues, which is beautiful. I love it. This is looking really good. That's shading. I mean, maybe,
I think I got too much water on my.
I think it has a little bit too much water, and I think we need like a little bit more of the medium. So we have a lot of dark and we have a lot of light, but there's
Yeah.
not too much in between. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna go and kind of just add just a slight wash right here
Beautiful.
and shape those eyes. The neck looks good, your ears look good, and then maybe blend that up a little bit here. Okay, besides that, and then, yeah, that looks great. I'm gonna connect that there. Okay, no, it's looking really good.
Awesome.
Great
I think it's water time.
job. Water time,
It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Let's switch our water.
Switch the water.
Clean the water.
I splattered on my freaking picture. I hate it.
Unless you need to catch up, then hurry fast, hurry quick.
I'm trying. So much pressure, Jake.
Thank you.
It's mainly for everybody.
I feel like I had water somewhere.
Like a bottled water?
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Good.
Okay, we're almost ready to move on to the black parts, which I feel like that's what really helps it come together. So if you're still feeling like it's not looking like anything yet, it will get
Except for a
there.
little monkey face.
Maybe I should make you guys promise to have faith in me. Maybe that's what it is, because sometimes
I believe
We've
it.
all got faith in you.
Yeah.
Almost got you again, brother.
You've got that, Sarah. You're good in that department.
But then I would be so sad if they're like, I trusted you, and this did not turn out. I let you down. I'm so sorry. That's how I felt about the waves. If you guys painted the waves, good for you, because that was hard. Okay. So now I'm kind of just going to go in and add a touch of color here and there, because we defined our bone, but this is looking a little too white and it's sticking out a little bit too much. It's drawing too much attention. So I'm going to put a little bit of color right here, like right in the middle, just some golden brown. And then I'm just going to kind of spread it around a little bit, blend it out. And then near the top, I'm just going to do like,
One, right?
yeah. It's basically just another white wash, light wash, I'm sorry, not white, light wash on the top part here. Because the light wash that I put down initially was way too light and was reading too strong for that.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say that, but I didn't.
That's exactly what you were thinking? We're on the same page here, Chad.
Yeah.
So did you take it all the way up here?
I blended it all the way up to the top. And then remember to try and do your blending and your shading in this curved line, because pretend that we're like actually looking at a giraffe. We're painting up and over it, so it's going to be this like curved line here going on. And as you can see, when I'm curving it, I'm kind of getting in the color that I put on the side. That's okay. It's going to get a little bit messy. Really, I think it just adds to it.
Yeah, maybe that giraffe got into a fight or something.
Does it look like he has a broken nose?
No, I'm saying if it does, it just adds to it.
This is a boxing giraffe.
Need to be darker up here.
Yeah, blend that more.
Alright.
So you still want some parts that are lighter. You can see in the center of my nose here, I lifted up some color, so I had a nice highlight on in the middle. I'll do that at the top too. But we essentially what we want it to look like is something that's round and coming back out. And so we don't want this super strong outline where we did this. We kind of want it to like kind of blend and curve in, so then it looks like the same part. Does that make sense? If we do a strong outline and a strong, really light look, it's just gonna look like two separate pieces. We want to start blending those together, so that's kind of where we just start taking our brush. Yeah, and even more. So here's Natalie's. It's looking better since we took out that strong highlight, right? And then I'm just even more gonna take the color that's already there that I used for that she used for the shadow, and just start to blend that. And it might not look like it's doing much, but even the slightest thing helps. Okay. We're essentially, yeah, just softening up that bone that we put there. Okay, and then now I'm going to do the mouth here. So on the very nose, I did like this strong golden highlight here. That's just golden brown pretty much. And then I'm going to take my brush and blend that out across. And I'm just going to do that across the entire white area and even up to the nostrils, but leaving that white space for the actual black part of the nostril. And then you can see it a little bit better in Natalie's because your outline is stronger. See how we have this like curved line right here, this part? That's gonna be where our shadow is on our lip. So I have it on mine, but my outline's not as strong. So right underneath it, I'm just gonna add a darker color and kind of blend that out. And that's gonna be our upper lip. So now all of a sudden we have a mouth.
Is it more of the antelope or like a little bit of black?
That one is a little bit more of the antelope with the black. So kind of like how I have this like gray brown, like over here, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like a gray. That's what I used for the shadow.
Oops. Not too much of that.
Oh, sorry, Chad.
Oh, you're all right. I mean, I'm just trying to paint here, Sarah.
I'm just trying to paint and you're covering my paint, but it's fine. Okay.
Might be too wet for me.
If it's too wet, just wait for it to dry. Go back to it.
I might have messed it up.
You didn't mess it up.
Okay.
So Misty put hers down and it was really wet, so it kind of just made a really thick bleedy line. Just lift that up, blend it out,
Okay.
and just say, I'll come back to you when you're more dry. Okay. I think we're ready for our black. Oh wait, one more thing. Okay, on our nostrils themselves, so we have this white part that's eventually going to be made black, and then we have like this light wash around it. Even on that, I'm going to put a little bit of a kind of wash, do a second layer, kind of like on this rounded part on both of them. So then that way it's not like, because when something is the same value, which means if it's, whether it's a dark value, medium value, or a light value, it flattens. So these are rounded. We want to show that they're rounded, so we're kind of just doing a medium value on top of that light value. Not all the way around, because we don't want it on the whole thing, because that's just going to keep it flat. We just do it on some of the spaces. So I just did it on the inside curve and the outside curve. Okay. And then right at the eyeball here, where it meets, I'm just going to do another little swish, swish, swish. Just a little. This one I'm not going to worry about blending out too much because I'm kind of putting where the shape of the eyelid goes. So it's just like a medium. It's not super dark. It's not super light.
You can keep going. I'm on the top again.
Okay. So it's just like going to define kind of where our eyelids are. Like that. And you can do a slight shadow right underneath that eye. Just like that.
Same on the other side.
Just a little one. Just a really soft little dit to show that there's an eyelid. Thank you. Oh, you okay?
Is that right?
Yeah, and let it go down a little bit more. So when you're doing the shadow underneath the eye, you don't want to just follow the shape of the eyelid. You're going to have it like follow the edge
I
of
just
the...
think we need to get closer for the. So let me zoom in a little bit.
Okay, he's going to zoom in on that.
I feel like going this direction feels very comfortable, and this side, I can't make my hand do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's backwards.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why
why-
I flip my page upside
Yeah,
down
I do
personally
too.
sometimes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There we go. Just let it.
Is that better?
So we'll do it this time.
This way. Usually we have someone coming around with the camera doing a close-up, but we're short on cameramen tonight.
Yeah.
Al is doing something important right now.
Usually about 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We're gonna forgive everybody, and we're just gonna go. Okay. So she put her little shadow down, and so you don't want to just do like follow the lid. You don't want to like outline the lid. You want to do it kind of more underneath it and follow more the side of the face. Does that make sense? And then for your lids here, I'm just going to kind of curve. Yeah, the left one, if you're right-handed, is a little bit harder to do that. So sometimes Chad just turns his paper around. Another thing that I do is I actually move my arm up, over, and around and do it kind of like that way. Just like that. So it's just a slight shadow.
Oh, I think we swapped brushes.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No problem.
Missy's like, that is my brush. Okay. You guys ready to put in some black parts? Because I'm so ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Okay. So first thing we're going to start is with the horns. I'm just getting pure black, and I'm just going to do the top part of the horns kind of where I outlined. Now when I get to the top, I kind of lighten my brush strokes so it kind of like points at the end. Does that make sense? Like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. Because these are kind of like little hairy things.
Pure black.
Just black. And then for me, I like it when things blend. So just ever so slightly, I'm just going to blend this out a little bit where the bottom of the black part is to the brown. And that way it's not such strong brush marks. Sometimes we want that, like when we're doing eyelashes or detail work, we want those strong lines. But this one, I want it to blend a little bit better. So just very softly and lightly, I'm blending out.
Let me see how to ask this. How do I make this top part look like furry? Is there a
Okay.
certain stroke or some kind of
Yeah.
technique?
So What you can do for like to get that kind of hair. So hair is not just a straight line like this that's even all the way through. Whether it's fur or feathers, it kind of all goes to like a point. So to do that, you're going to want a round, because the great thing with rounds is you can get a thick to thin stroke or a thick to thin line within the same stroke. So almost when you do it, you're going to want to like lift your brush up at the end so it gets lighter. Does that make sense? Like a thinner line. So when I'm doing my horns here, I'm going to do my main part, and then when I get to the edge, I'm going to use my tip. And if it's easier for you to use your smaller brush for this, you're welcome to. And you're just going to kind of like do these thinner lines. Now you don't want them all the same stroke and all the same width. You don't want to like do this at the top, because
what I got going on.
I'm sure that's
Yes.
what I did too.
so when that happens, you're just going to want to go through some areas and have some be a little bit thicker, a little bit longer. You want them to be a little uneven, because that reads more true to nature as you get these like weird strokes here at the top. Did that help at all?
I don't know. Did it work? Does it look okay, or is
Yeah.
it still too weird?
So I think it's just a little bit too tiny, like you're being a little bit too delicate with it. Some of them can be a little bit thicker. Like that. So that way it's not like dee 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 dee. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll do that big for you if you guys are like, I can't see what you're doing. So if this is my top of my horn here, I'm going to do strokes near the top that are kind of like get thinner. And some are longer and some are shorter. They're not all even in width, and they're not all even in length. I hope that became more clear. Okay. Just like that. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the black to our ears. So going just on the ears. So this line here, right here, this is the edge of the eye bone. So we're going to go around that. We're not going to paint over at that. So I'm going to do a dark section like that. And then I just take my water and I blend this out. And I let that get kind of smeary and muddy in there. But the whole point is for it to be darkest right at that, where it meets that eye socket bone. Yep.
Right.
And then you're going to blend it out.
Maybe I have too much black.
No. Just add more water. Yep, and blend it out more. Yep. And it's gonna get loose, and it's gonna bleed around, and it's gonna move, and that's okay. The ears, I feel like, is where we have a little bit of freedom, because as long as we have a dark center where it's going out and it lightens up as it goes, that's all we really need to say. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, working around that eye socket bone. And then blend that out. How are you doing over there, Chad?
Good. I
Good.
got too much jazz going on this first year.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, just lift that up. Do you need another paper towel?
You know, probably could.
You do the same thing I do where you hold it and so
Yeah.
it becomes
Thank
a wad. I do that all the time. Okay. So this is where you might want to grab your two because we're going to move to the eyeballs and the eyelashes. So I have my two. I'm just loading it with black. And I'm going to kind of do the shape of my eye first. Now hopefully you can still kind of see the outlines. If not, you can kind of guesstimate it, but essentially what we have here is we have the top eyelash. So I'm going to do this, that's like where it meets the eye, and then it's going to go out and down, and these are the lashes.
Like painting on eyeliner.
Yes. And you can do the other side as well, or if you want to do one eye and then the other, whatever. I'm going to actually turn my painting so I don't put my hand in the eyelashes I just painted.
Other questions?
Questions? Concerns? Anything?
It's looking real good.
It is.
They're looking so good.
How do you get this
It's a
stuff
real
off
boy.
the page? That's a no-go. Okay, I saw it in your face.
If you have a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser,
Oh.
this is what you're going to want to do. I didn't explain how to use it. My friend, she's like, I had one and then I ended up rubbing a hole in my paper. So let me explain how you use it. You're just going to tear off a tiny piece of the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. You are going to want to get your water drops. Can I steal your paper for a second?
Yeah.
So he has these splashes here. So what you're going to want to do is you want to get a clean water, clean brush, put water on it, try and lift up as much as you can with the clean water. And then you're going to take a damp Mr. Clean, just a little thing, and just kind of start to rub. And it should lift off. If you rub really hard, it's going to start tearing away at your paper. So
Can I just paint over it with that gouache or the white
yeah, like the
gouache?
bleed-proof white. Yep.
I actually think all those splatters are
Yeah,
very
I
pretty.
kind of love it.
I really like it.
Maybe I should just sprinkle the whole thing when we're done.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
I would leave them, but you could use the gouache to kind of cover it
Okay.
too. So there's different things you can
I
do.
just think that's like, it's so even and it's pretty.
just
Yeah,
have
and I
this,
like the
one
different
smudge
colors.
on mine,
Yeah.
so. It's all good.
That's okay. I have one on mine. Okay, so then I'm going to do the actual eyeball itself. Now for this eyeball, I'm going to do the bottom here, and then the outside edge, and then the inside of where the actual colored eye is, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to leave a little white circle, and this you kind of just like draw in yourself, and then I'm just going to fill this in. Like that.
It's intense. Did you hold your breath when you get
I am.
Don't breathe. Don't
I
breathe.
think I made the little white circle too small.
I didn't even have a little white circle on the other side. I had a slight one on this side. So if you end up covering your little white circle, it's not going to matter.
So it just connects right to the lashes that you made then,
It
right?
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what beautiful eyes do you have?
And then I'll do my bottom lashes. I'm just following that shape that I outlined at the bottom here. That looks,
Weird.
no, I feel like you're being really hard on yourself. Let's see. It has heavy lashes. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If anything, I'm just going to kind of curve this line here at the top, so it looks a little bit more like rounded. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I think it looks fine. Okay, and then I'm going to do my other side.
This one likes liquid liner.
Oh,
Liquid liner.
Just takes me back to like when I was first started wearing makeup, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear the thickest black eyeliner. And it's so sweet because your family members don't know what to say.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you started wearing eyeliner. Yes, I did. Very grown up. So I did my other side here. Now the nice thing about Giraffe's eyes is I feel like they're almost like heavy and hooded. You know what I mean? No? That's okay.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. Totally.
Yeah, we totally get you.
And then I'm just going to put a slight eyelid on mine, just right above the eyelashes. I'm just going to do, using a combination of the antelope and the black, I'm just going to do like a dark line, not all the way across, just like halfway. And the same thing on the other side. It's kind of already there, but I'm just going to go back over it. And now I'm going to do my little nostrils.
Steve Westover says, love it.
Thank you. They're coming together. I'm telling you, it's when you put in these, and then when you put in the spots, you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is a giraffe for sure. And then I'm just going to do a little thin black line at the bottom of where the shadow of my mouth was. Just right there.
That is a good mouth.
Thank you.
That was like magic, perfectly straight. Mine would be a nervous giraffe.
A nervous.
Giraffe.
Oh, Natalie's looks like it's smiling. Look how cute.
Thanks.
Look how cute it is.
It is cute.
That's awesome.
You guys, these are turning out so good. You should be so proud of yourselves. How are you doing over there, Chad?
Good.
I can't see yours as well because the water like has a glare on it.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Stop it, Chad.
I know you do great work, so I'm not even worried about it. Okay. And then if you feel like there's anywhere else you want to touch up here, I'm going to put a little extra in my ears here. And then we're going to move on to our spots.
Oh, I forgot I lost my
Joby
shadow
says-
on my...
I think where you put the sparkle impacts the apparent intelligence of the animal. Mine looks a little dim.
Like the white highlight in the eye.
Right. It can either be cross-eyed or maybe mine has a little bit of a lazy eye.
If you don't like the white highlight, you can just get rid of it. I didn't have it on my left side, so you know what? If it's distracting from your giraffe, you can take it out. But if you like that giraffe with a little extra personality, leave it in. Aw, Missy's just smiling too. Cute.
Little smirk.
Little
Al just
smirk.
got on.
Hi, Al. We hope you're doing okay. We miss you.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to our spots. Now this one, I mainly just used antelope brown. So it's just a nice darker brown. If your giraffe...
We may need a little more. Like one little
Okay.
Our
drop.
giraffes are very brown, apparently, because we've used
Yes.
a lot of that brown.
Well, I think we mostly just spread it all over the palette.
That's true.
Okay, there's antelope. Oh, I'll
created
put a
two
couple more on
paintings.
ours. Okay, so using the outlines that you have.
The 6 brush.
Yeah, I'm just using the 6 or a 4 because it's bigger, so it's easier to fill in spots.
Okay.
And you just start filling in those spots. And they don't have to be exact. You can make more spots if you want. And then remember there's some up here on the cheek too.
sitting here with a cute baby boy.
He said it?
Yes.
We all didn't
So does
want
that
to
mean
say
I
it.
can say
Yeah,
it?
we didn't say anything.
We
Al.
didn't say it, but Al's wife, Drea, they had their baby today.
So exciting.
So that's where they are, and I'm so excited and happy for him, and I can't wait to meet him. So that's so great. I'm glad he said something,
I know.
because I've been wanting
We're
to say
all
it.
trying to be really discreet.
It's difficult though because
It is
we
difficult.
are so excited.
Excited. Okay, so it's just kind of wherever you.
Wherever those lines were now. Yours kind of disappeared a
They're
little bit,
gone.
Misty.
I lost them.
So you just, you eyeball it.
All right. I'm just gonna give them some spots.
And then what I like to do, so it's not just like these strong spots on it, I like to blend the edges a little. So it kind of like smears out a bit. And I do the same thing on the face too. It just kind of softens them, and that's why it doesn't look like, just polka dots right on the giraffe.
I feel like I'm not really. So I think I'm
Yeah.
having trouble because my lines are so dark
Mm-hmm.
that I can't make them disappear, and it
And
kind of
it's
bothers
stressing
me a
you
little
out?
bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All of the lines on my paper are really bothering me.
Well,
The line.
to be
All of them. The
to
whole
be
thing.
honest, I can't even really notice the lines. That might just have to be something that you have to let go. But you can do a little bit here. You can add a little bit more shadow on the neck. But I feel like what's going on here is working so well that I wouldn't try and cover up those lines. You think that pencil lines bother you, but as somebody who does custom work for people, never once has anybody said, there's a pencil line there, can you take that away? If anything, they like them. So don't stress about it.
Okay.
And honestly, I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, so then on the cheeks.
On the cheek, there's like 3 little thin ones and then a couple over there. And just for what I want to do on mine is I want to add a little extra shadow over here. You don't have to do this on yours because you might not need it. Chad, I don't think you'll need it on yours. I don't even think you guys need it here. But just a little over here. Yep. Oh, that feels better. Okay. And then this is where sometimes I'll go in kind of more at the end if I feel like it needs a little extra touch of color somewhere. So I'm going to add just a little touch there, a little touch on the nose, and then on the neck too. Because sometimes you just need those strong things of color just for fun. You just kind of blend it in. Oh my gosh, they look so good, you guys. Oh, I hope you're so happy with yourselves because they look so good.
Giraffe-a-rooski.
You guys ready to hold them up?
Hold up one sec.
Do your last minute touches here.
I'm still bugged by this area. It still looks like a little Mario Brothers frog.
Well, mine looks like that too. I mean, they all look like it if you're looking for it. You know?
Yeah, it's true. I still need some more shadow on my nose, but.
Ah, it looks good. Ooh, I love your hooded. I love how like thick your lashes are, Chad.
Luscious.
Luscious
You know what I mean?
lashes over there. I love it. Okay, when you're ready, we're ready, Jake. Are you going to take the phone and do a close-up?
And do this.
Okay. Look, I'm even pronouncing my froggy more.
Alright, hold him up.
Okay. If you can, hopefully yours won't drip, Chad.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's a little wet.
Okay, we'll hold them up.
Okay, all right.
Oh, they look
That
so
looks
good.
So good. Oh, Natalie, yours is amazing. I can't see Chad's because he can't hold it.
Here, I'll hold this out. Good job,
That's
you
freaking
guys.
So fun.
They turned out so good.
Pretty rad.
Hooray! Good job.
So awesome.
Okay, if you painted this, I hope you did. If you did, share it with us. We want to see it. See how excited we got when we saw everybody's. So lately, people have been posting it in the Facebook comments on this live feed. I love that because then everybody can see it and we can comment and like it and all that great stuff. So you can do that. If you put it on Instagram, tag us in it. We would love to see it. Hashtag Let's Make Art. Hashtag Giraffe. Let's do watercolor giraffe. Hashtag watercolor giraffe. And so please share it. I know it's scary putting up your stuff, even if you're not totally in love with it, but when you're brave, other people are brave, and it's good to put out stuff and put yourself out there. It's what art's all about. And next week, so if you ordered the kit, you'll notice that there's just 4 projects in there. So usually every month we're just going to do 4. And then whenever there is a 5th Tuesday in the month, we're going to do our postcard for the Let's Make Art Matter in there. So next week we are doing postcards for a girl in California named Addison. She has leukemia, and actually this last week she had a really rough week health-wise. So we're going to do little mini giraffes here. You can see here. So if you ordered the subscription, you should have a little postcard in the back of the giraffes project with a little tiny outline that we will be doing the same thing. And so we'll meet back here on Tuesday at 7:15 to paint this postcard for Addison. It should be pre-addressed and stamped, so you can just drop it in the mail. And then just leave a little note of support for her because she's just this, 10-year-old little girl who's just so strong. We want to show her that we love her. So this is what we're doing next week. Hope to see you there. I hope she gets so many postcards. Tell all your friends. If you were to do any project with anybody, I would like it to be this one because I want her to receive love. So I think that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye.